place. The place where the royal tombs were found, the tomb of Philip II, that is the father of Alexander the Great, and the tomb of Alexander IV, that is the son of Alexander the Great and Princess Roxanne. So, the place is called nowadays Vergina. However, the name originally was a guy. So according to Herodotus, do you know him? Some of you maybe, okay, studying Greek. The first capital town of ancient Macedonia was founded by three brothers. I will just tell the name of one, Perdiccas, that was the youngest of the brothers. Originally, they lived in Upper Macedonia, meaning the mountainous part of ancient Macedonia, which is found that way. So 70 kilometers away from the place that you are now found. We have these three brothers that were just occupying themselves with animal husbandry. And the king and the queen were not that rich at that time in ancient Macedonia, would also get their income from animal husbandry. So the queen herself would take care of the preparation of the meals of the day. And one day she saw that a loaf of bread was becoming double than the rest. So she thought that maybe this was something special, but she waited just to see which one was the lucky. So this was the youngest of the brothers, Perdiccas. Okay, and the next day the same, and so on and so on. So she thought that maybe that she should tell her husband, the king. So the king asked his wizards, and they said that this was an omen, a divine sign. Perdiccas would become really powerful, and he would even threat the throne. So, really worried, the king decided to ask the three brothers to leave his area. Before leaving, the brothers asked for their reward, and what they had to do was just to leave. But before leaving, they had to take some money. The king did not give any money. He just pointed out a sunbeam that was reaching, the floor of the room that was made of mud. And as the sunbeam was reaching the floor, a little sun was created. So the games of the sun, And what he did was just to take his sword and make a circle around the point that the sunbeam was reaching the floor. He kneeled and he grabbed 3 handfuls of sun and he touched his heart. And then they had to leave, but again they had quite a problem which way they should go. So they asked for an oracle from the Oracle of Delphi. And the oracle was quite easy. It mentioned that what they just had to do was to take just a herd, a group of goats with them, and the goats would lead them to the place where they could settle down. So the goats led them to this area, and the name that they gave to the town was Agai, which means the goat's place. So Agai was founded in the 7th century BC, and 2 centuries later, the second capital, Pella, the hometown of Alexander the Great, was founded. And according to a new oracle, the old town had to remain the sacred town of Macedonia. So royal burial should take place here. Some festivities as well. So this is the reason why King Philip II, that lived in the 4th century BC, was buried here, and he was murdered also here in the theater that he ordered himself to be built here. So King Philip was murdered in 336 BC, and on the very next moment of his murder, inside the theater, the officers of the Macedonian army raised his son Alexander III in their hands and took him to the palace that was right next to the theater. So there Alexander was nominated. He was just 20 years old, very young. He would start his campaign against the Persians. That was the main dream of Philip, actually. But before leaving, he had to organize the administrative affairs of Ancient Macedonia and also do his duty as a son. He had to bury his father keeping the rituals of as in Macedonia, which included burning the body of the king. So he also had to take care of the construction of his father's Macedonian tomb. So this tomb was found intact right here under a hill similar to the one that you can see today. So Professor Manolis Andronikos in 1997 discovered, unlooted the tomb of Philip with all its treasure inside, and the next year of his excavations, a second unlooted tomb that belonged to Alexander IV. So what he also pointed out is that originally these buildings were covered with little individual hills. That was the custom, just to build this embracing building and then cover it. So what one could see was just a hill. And what's more, he discovered a burial place for simple people that was found right here on the left lower side of the hill today. So this site was destroyed, was plundered by Gallians. Do you know the Gallians? Some of you may be from France. Any? Yes. So Asterix and Obelix, yes, okay. So of course it was not Asterix and Obelix that arrived here, but the point is that the Gallians destroyed this cemetery in the beginning of the 3rd century BC. And our king at that time, Antigonos, decided to protect these important royal buildings even better. So he ordered to gather all the small parts from the gravestones and cover the little hills. So a great tumulus was created. We call this the Great Tumula. And what you can see today, this hill, is more or less what a Nassian visitor would see after the middle of the 3rd century BC. Nowadays, of course, we are going to enter a museum which is found on the exact place. What is special about this museum is that we can see the original buildings on the original place. So all the buildings were not brought here, they were found here, and the museum was created right on top. So, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, just to let you know that it's a really dark museum, so no sunglasses anymore. Need it?
Yeah.
Need it? You can take photos, but without flash. No selfie photos, please, and no filming.
No?
No filming. No
Okay,
video.
okay.
Okay? So, off we go. Θες να πας να...